Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. All right, I see there's a few new names in the room again. Welcome. Really quick overview of what you're looking at here. We've got the complete diversified trading system along with the Raptor. So we've got here in the top left, the Hawk micro scalper. Bottom left, top right is the Falcon swing trader. Bottom left is the Eagle trend trader. Bottom right is the Raptor. I'm following the NASDAQ on all four charts. And I've also got the Bollinger Band suite, which is an add-on indicator along the bottom of each chart. Let's take a look here at a daily chart now, see what's been going on. Yesterday, this looks a whole lot more bullish than it was. The market making some pretty crazy swings back and forth all day yesterday. A lot of this rally came through the overnight. Our range was really confined around the 7,500 zone for much of yesterday. And you can see here recently the market falling off very, very sharply. Volume increasing here on some of these big bars, which is what we expect to see. So it looks like today the sellers may be trying to recover the market, maybe even trying to run yesterday's, well, intraday low, maybe not the overnight low. The intraday low somewhere here around 7,400, if I remember correctly. So it looks like it might be a reactionary type day today. Please ask questions. There is a chat window. I'm sorry I can't enable the microphone for everyone. It would just be chaos. All right, we're getting a lot of volatility here out of the open. As we bounce back and forth here on the Eagle trend trader, we kind of get our bird's eye view, if you excuse the pun. Trade forecaster says we are in swing mode, scalp mode coming up shortly. I think we may already be in scalp mode. You can see the overnight and the pre-market very active. Lots of trading going on that first hour before the market open. For those of you living on the East Coast, the pre-market very often has some great opportunities. Those up here on the West Coast means I gotta drag my butt out of bed an hour earlier still. Okay, we got a lot of back and forth going on right now. You can see here the Hawk scalper Oh, actually, we did get some decent signals. What I was going to point out is when you get these yellow bars clustering more or less the same price level, that tells you that you're in a bit of a sideways market, starting to get into that choppiness. On the Raptor, you start to see this candy striping. A lot of signals. There was decent follow through on most of the signals. It's not like the signals weren't any good. It's just you don't want to see so many signals. You don't want to see signal after signal after signal. All right, so our trading band's now crossing over. Ooh, how bullish are we going to be? Next signal that produces here will be a number one signal to buy. What time is it? We're only 6 minutes in. I don't know if I want to try anything just yet. Next couple of days, just so everyone knows, I need to close the trading room at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. Well, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. We're definitely holding the lows. We have a nice solid bottom down here around 74.20. We did breach this swing high, which is interesting, because when you breach a significant swing high, you'd normally expect two moves in the direction of the breakout. So there's move one, that could be move two. Oh, and it looks like it's holding true to form. That's too bad. That was a nice move. Little red bar buy off of the hard edge. Would have been enough to find our high probability profit target. Wow, very nice follow through on all these signals here this morning. Nice little number one signal there, and the Raptor working out really well. Pick your signal here in the Hawk. First micro macro cross, macro pullback, both working out. A little bit of a prolonged trend change signal here in the Falcon, but that one working out as well. All right, well, we're getting a follow-up number three signal. When the market bounces around this quickly, I know it's annoying when you kind of see the signal developing and you see that big move and you're left sitting on your hands. But believe me, it's not the last signal you're going to miss. So just try to take it in stride. You don't want to be chasing the market around. You want to make sure that when you get a signal, the market is behaving the way it's supposed to. And sometimes that means having to wait a little bit longer. Okay, now we're getting a number one signal to short, so you can see they're just flip-flopping back and forth, which is what we anticipate in scalp mode, which is probably going to be well, I'm going to say it's going to be for the rest of the morning. We'll see what Trade Forecaster predicts here in a minute. Oh, the Hawk coming through with some very nice opportunities here this morning. I know I don't feature the Hawk as much as I used to. It's primarily because I know there's more Raptor traders in the room, more Raptor owners. But one of the main signals that we have with the Hawk scalper is the first micro macro crossover signal. And that occurs when your market changes direction, essentially. So your market is all out of sync, it comes into sync. It's really the first signal where everything is in sync. That's the easy way to think of it. And both these signals easily finding your scalp target. This one falling straight off, this one giving you a little bit more heat. One thing I want to caution you about, and this is actually a really good example, this is a little bit abnormal for the market to come down so quickly without producing a signal somewhere along the way. You see this bar right here, this bar probably struggled to produce a first micro macro cross, but it didn't. And the market fell off, produced your first micro macro cross, and here you are. That's not to say the signal isn't valid, but you have to consider stop placement too. So if you take the signal on the hash mark, well, ideally we like to keep our stops 2 swings back, which means your stops are way up there, which is not really feasible for a scalp target. So what do you do? Well, you can either pass on the signal, wait for another opportunity, or you can try a second push opportunity. The second push simply means we allow the signal to engage, we see where the market reacts, and then we use that reactionary bar as our signal bar, namely this one right here. That would have held you out of the trade a little bit longer. You can see after that monster swing, it did eventually head back down and produce another first micro macro cross signal right there. So a very, very strong signal. Hey, way to go, Ray. Ray knocking it out of the park early. Says I used the Hawk and took 2 trades for $100. I'm done for the day. Well done. There you go. You got your little round of applause. Well, might be getting a late filter entry signal. Yes, we are. We're going to get the late filter entry signal here in the Falcon. So I'll look at that, and then I'll explain what's going on. Let me get these out of the way. Come on. Okay, well, didn't need to worry about it. Okay, so your late filter entry signal in the Falcon, a very strong signal. Actually, we had a couple here back to back. It occurs when your filter goes out of sync, comes back into sync. Your trend line never changes color, and you produce a signal. So those are the three elements. And we had one produce here, fell off sharply. We had another one produce right here, which we took, and again, the market falling off very, very sharply. Wow. I think the bottom's coming out. In case anyone's wondering, I think we're in a downtrend today. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes these strong trending days I find very difficult to trade. Partly because the market's moving so fast. I find it easier to trade when the market has a steady pace to it. For those new people in the room who haven't heard my spiel, the way you make money trading is not by trading more often. This is not a production line. If you want to get paid more for doing more, you have to go get yourself a job. In trading, what we try to do is we try to focus on the best opportunities and then capitalize on them correctly by taking as many contracts as our account will allow. Typically, we want to limit our risk to less than 5% of our trading capital. This is why a little tool like the old trade calculator here is handy. We can limit our risk, or we can increase it if we want to trade more contracts. Typically, anything less than 5% of your trading capital is prudent. And you can see how the values change here. Right now, I could afford 2 contracts if I were looking to get into this trade. So even though you may only have made $100 on a trade, remember that's $100 with a single contract. So if you're trading 2 contracts, hey, all of a sudden that's $200. 4 contracts, 400. 10 contracts, 1,000. It's not that you have to find 10 opportunities in the day. If you've been trading any time at all, you probably realize that it's much easier to find 1 or 2 opportunities than it is to, say, find 10 or 12. Yeah, and here's the other problem. Keith says, agreed, moving so fast by the time you get ready to place your trade, the target has been hit. Yeah, sometimes you can't even get your trade placed. You're just hitting buy and sell market buttons because you can't get the order on. Floyd's asking for a crude oil chart. Let me see, Floyd, if I still have. I'm not sure I still have crude in my data. Just one moment here, please. I streamlined my data feed because there were a lot of charts I wasn't using. And I think crude may have been one of the casualties there. Oh dear, I think it was. Okay, let me see about re-adding crude to my my data stream, Floyd. Oh, look at that. After that monster move lower, now all of a sudden we're digging in. We definitely holding the lows. Well, so far. Trade forecaster says, yep, scalp mode for at least another half hour. After that, trend mode. Isn't that interesting? I think we could probably plot our sideways trading range something like this. Look for a breach and then a retest. So what you want to see when you suspect, excuse me, that the market is in a sideways range, you want to see a breakout, you want to see a retest. Once you've got the retest, now the market's in a bit of a bind. It either has to continue higher or it won't. Anything within this trading range, however, is going to be a little bit of a crapshoot. All right, so there now the breakout. So we've broken the high. Let's see what we get for a reaction. If we get a reaction, there should be some sort of reaction here. Hopefully that wasn't it. Oh, baby. Okay, so we got at least a couple of bars now, reactionary bars. At this point, we can put our, just in case the market explodes to the upside, order in. Better turn my chart trader on. Okay, now we've got the retest. Now the market is in a bind. It either has to go up or it won't. And if it won't, well, there's a good chance it's going to get back inside this trading range. We are in scalp mode. I should be taking a more modest target. All right. Oh, baby. Okay, get up here. So we're going to be looking at, sorry, I can't talk and trade. There we go. So I got my trade to a break even now, and I'm looking to take my profit, which they just gave to me. Thank you very much. So a very nice, this one's practically textbook, as you can see. Breakout, retest, boom. Boom goes the dynamite. So when you see this kind of thing happen, and unfortunately, sometimes you have to wait for a while, try not to get too anxious about calling the market in a sideways range. But once you suspect the market is in a sideways range and you get that breakout and retest, and in the case of the Eagle, I like to see at least 2 bars contra. So here we got a breakout higher. I like to see 2 bars backing up against the market. Then we got the swing the other way. I got 2 bars again. So now I know the market is in a bind. Are the bulls going to commit to their rally, or are the bears going to take them to the woodshed and knock them back down? Well, in this case, the buyers. I mean, nice little rally up, certainly enough to find our high probability target. And that's really all I care about. Now, in spite of today's many opportunities, my trading day at this point would probably be done. I've met my 2 trade quota. I usually have a 2 or 3 trade quota. So I've met my trade quota. I'm profitable. And if you can do this day in and day out, as I mentioned, trading becomes really, it's just a numbers game. So we've made $300 on a single contract. 3 contracts, that'd be $900. $900 not enough for you? Well, trade 5 contracts. That's $1,500. Still not enough? You see where I'm going with this. I call this the best kept secret on Wall Street because everybody, I'm so tired of the internet forums because I keep saying the same stuff over and over and over, and it seems nobody listens. But there you go. I'm casting my pearls, and do with it what you will. And after all, isn't this why we trade? So we traded for a half hour, we made our money. wouldn't we rather be doing something else anyway? I know a fellow, and he's an exceptional trader, but I swear he's glued to his computer. I'm not going to say 24 hours a day, although it sure seems that way. Why not just go get a job? Like, really, if you want to be in front of the computer for 8 hours a day and get paid, just go get yourself a job. It's a whole lot easier. And get yourself a hobby. There's less expensive hobbies. Okay, things starting to simmer a little bit after opening range. That was really more like a Monday opening range, not a Wednesday opening range. Certainly not an opening range in August. Normally August is just crazy slow, but not what we've seen the last few days here. What I suspect, and I bet you if I threw a fib level, if I scrunched up the chart here, one sec. I suspect if I threw a fib level on here, I bet you we're somewhere around the 50% zone. Oh, actually surpassed it a bit. Made the 62% level. So that's going to get all the fib traders excited. But what I suspect is that you see how we've recovered to where the downtrend began, where it fell off very, very strong. I think the sellers owe us one more push. And if they can't take it back, well then we'll probably see yet more of a rally. And I suppose in a way, we are, is it premature to call this a sideways range? Baby, look at them go. That's nuts. Okay, well, here we go again. You can do it again. We got the upside limit, right? We have now the downside. Oh, okay, well, we got filled to the upside. Let me get an exit order in here. Oh, are they being tricky? So we're in at 46. I would like out at 51. Oh, shoot. Well, there shows you the problem of running a tight stop. So there was our breakout. This is why our stops are normally 2 swings back. This is swing 1. You can see the market didn't really hesitate to breach the first swing. If I kept my stop 2 swings back, at this point, I could begin to roll my stops up. Remember, just because you have a deep stop initially does not mean that's where it needs to stay. See, and look at that. It cost me. Had I kept a proper stop on the trade, my losing trade would have actually been a winning trade. Very often it's as simple as that. There is such a thing as a proper stop. And a lot of times, the proper stop will be the main criteria for whether or not you should take the trade. Look at these zones. My goodness, these zones are huge. All the added volatility has really spaced our support and resistance lines. All right, we're taking a bounce now off the primary support zone and the median line way up here at 74.74, which 74.75 was a bit of a problem number yesterday. Not too surprised to see that. This is going to be a number one signal as it prints. And why are you not printing? There you go. That should offer a decent opportunity. Again, you need to start with a proper stop. And I'll get ready now with my break even. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Oop, wrong button. David's asking, can you show how to scalp with the hawk? Yes, absolutely, David. All right. Now, with the scalping tool, with the hawk, we have a very modest $50 target. The NASDAQ trades at $5 a tick, so we're only looking for 10 ticks. The nice thing, because we're running a tighter profit target, very often we can get by with trading multiple contracts. This gives us a little bit more flexibility in the sense that we can sometimes split up the trade. So we can set this so we'll only take profit on one contract, perhaps try to run out the other one, or just get in and get out, double our profitability, all while controlling our risk. Now, with the Hawk scalper, there are a few signals that I'm looking for. In just a moment, I will find them here. So with the Hawk, these are the high probability signals that we focus on. Probably the strongest of the bunch is right here, the first micro macro crossover signal. So when the chart changes colors, as I mentioned, it's really the first signal where everything is in sync. Another very strong signal is the macro pullback. So that's when the market moves back to the thick line. That's the macro line. The micro line, the thin one, changes color, but everything else stays in sync. And we produce a signal. The 4-arrow consolidation is essentially a pullback of sorts. And then we usually get one more push after the 4-arrow consolidation, and that's the post 4-arrow consolidation signal, or in this case also a macro pullback, the two signals overlapping. And then when the trend begins to weaken, we will typically get a red bar buy, or in the case of the downtrend, a green bar sell. So you have, depending how the market is behaving, you may trade them with trend, you may set up to take them counter trend, or you may just use them as an early warning that perhaps the trend is starting to unwind or weaken. Now, there are some markets like the mid cap, that's the EMD, the S&P 400, which you can get some very, very strong signals off of the red bar buy and green bar sell. So each market will be a little bit different, and it's worth your while to get familiar with your market that you're trading. But in this case here, you can see we've gone from red to green. So I'm looking now for my first micro macro crossover signal. I have my warning dots. So I'm going to look for the signal to develop. Oh, and now we have yellow bars. One thing I will not do is trade yellow bars in the Hawk. Okay, so here now is my first micro macro crossover signal. Let me get that out of the way. So the signal printing right here, it's also a macro pullback signal because the micro line is out of sync. And now we've got yellow bars again, so I'm going to pull the order. Now we are changing over. We're still out of sync, but my bars are turning red. So I'm going to anticipate a first micro macro cross to the short side. And it looks like it printed right here, so I didn't get it. I'm going to take a second push on that signal. Get my stops out of the way. Right here now, the follow-up signal. Okay, can bring my stops in a bit, and I'm at my break even. Oh shoot, they gave me the break even. So you can see you have to be fairly quick when you're trading with the scalper, especially when the market is moving this briskly. Oh, and I was a little too quick with my break even. Typically what I like to do when the market gets to be about 75, 80% of the way to my profit target, I'll take my trade to break even. Now that we're out of the first micro macro cross signal, I'm going to be on the alert for one of the follow-up signals, perhaps the macro pullback, maybe the 4-arrow consolidation. The 4-arrow consolidation is going to give me a trade that's going to look something like this. Here we go. 4-arrow consolidation. Speak of the devil. Now the 4-arrow consolidation is a signal I will take on a yellow bar. Now we're into a green bar sell. All right, so there's the green bar sell. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Get that out of the way. No, the signal's spoiled. All right. We've still got sell warning dots, but no, we're way up here. That's not going to work. You have to be careful with the hawk. You don't want to be trading too often, and you're going to find you're going to get a ton of opportunities with the hawk. So here our first micro macro cross higher now. I remember a fellow I used to trade with who would scalp a 30-second chart, and he was so wired on coffee and cigarettes, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. All right, let's see if we can get, we got the macro pullback coming now. Okay, so the macro pullback actually way back here already. Again, the market's just moving so darn fast today. But we still got the 4-arrow consolidation. There's 1, 2, there's signal 3, that should be signal 4, and now we got darn yellow bars again. All right, well, I will take yellow bar 4-arrow consolidation, so we'll just snug things up here a little. And there's the red bar buy, and so the trade gets scrubbed again. Normally, it isn't this difficult. The market is moving especially fast this morning. All right, now we're going to get ready for first micro macro cross lower. There it is. All right, get ready with my exit order. Okay, 3/4 of the way to the profit target, hit the profit target. Thank you very much. And that was a good little scalp. You may have to lock your price access to keep the market from bouncing around so much, keep your chart from bouncing, because if you hit your little auto format, it automatically adjusts the bars on your chart. So you can see if you have fewer bars, they tend to get bigger. What that does is it makes it difficult for you to work your trade. Okay, here now we have the macro pullback signal. Right, we're back to the macro line. 3/4 of the way to the profit target, and there we go. Thank you very much. So there you go, scalping. If you hold out for your high probability signals, you'll usually do well. Some of these follow-up signals look very inviting, but really they're a little bit more difficult to get on board with. Oh, it's been a good day. So even if you can take, say, 2 scalping trades in a day for $50 each, that still gets you to your $100 per day objective. And as I mentioned before, that's just, after that, it just becomes a numbers game. Yeah, of course, David. David says, thanks for the Hawk demo. You know, folks, I'm here for you. So if you have any questions or difficulties, you got to ask. I'm here for your benefit. Well, you know, I said earlier on that I thought we were in a downtrend. Now I'm not so sure. We've more than recovered what the sellers did out of the open. Even so, it does seem as though the sellers owe us one more move lower. We do have a trend change here, the Eagle band getting bearish. We got that darn candy striping going on here in the Hawk again. All right, let's see, or the Hawk, the whatchamacallit, the Raptor. Let's see if we get that number 3 signal printing. There it is. So number 3 signal just printed. One nice thing about the tighter ranges here is I can keep my stops 2 swings back. Okay, so I'm going to get ready now. If we get about 3/4 of the way to the profit target, there we go. Take my trade to break even, and you sons of stinkers. Had I gotten my entry a little bit closer to the hash mark, that would have worked out, I think. Another follow-up number 3 signal, this time with a second push opportunity. The second push means I allowed the signal to engage. I see where the market reacts. Let's see if we get a little giddy up. Come on, get down here. Oh, not liking that number 2 signal. Okay, here we go with the number 3 signal. That's the continuation signal. Come on, you guys, not asking a whole lot from you here. Okay, there we go. We're halfways. I'm going to take the trade to break even at this point. And, whew, all right. Gave me a little bit extra on that one. Thank you very much. Let's put that back on the shelf for now. Ooh, a very aggressive bullish pushback. Yikes. All right, well, if they stop running, oh, they're going to go too far to give me a number 1 signal. Well, there it is right there. Here's the problem with this trade is where the heck do I place my stop? If I'm going to keep it 2 swings back, it's got to be below that swing low. So this is a little bit of a problem trade. Oh, and now they're falling back even further, so taking away that temptation. Now we've got the number 1 signal. And that number 1 signal actually working out quite nicely. What is with all the volatility? Is the market just really thin, or has someone allowed the president to tweet again? right, gang, I thought it might be able to sneak in one more good trade here, but we've gone very, very flat. You can see our trading band very, very neutral right now, as are the Bollingers, very quiet. The Hawk, likewise, very constipated, lots of yellow bars clustering, not what we want to see. And again, here on the Raptor, we got loads of candy striping going on and a very, very narrow trading band. If you're going to continue trading, I do believe a bullish push is in order. There you go. You got your number one signal. And are they going to try to push it higher? And come on, give it a little bit more. I think what we can expect, I was looking here at the Eagle chart trying to get a handle on what the market might do. And I think what we're looking at is maybe, you know, there was push one, this is push two. When they run out of steam, look for a test of the extreme and then look for a move lower. I honestly believe the sellers owe us one more decent pushback. Remember, they were very, very strong out of the gate. They were very, very strong all last week. They're not just going to walk away from the market. All right. I'm sorry, it's the bottom of the hour. I do need to close up the room. I will see you again tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again. Talk to you then. Bye for now.